Nah, don't do it. So I know that there's a lot of negative information. So it's kind of easy for me to say this. There's a lot of negative information out there right now going on about Uber, about Lyft. There's a lot. So this video is kind of easy to make, but I'm still gonna say don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, if I could tell anybody right now that's thinking about getting into Uber or Lyft, getting into DoorDash, getting into Spark or Instacart, anybody that has that on their mind, like, hey, I'm gonna quit my job right now, I'm about to stick my middle finger up to my bosses, I'm moving on to greener pastures. I want to be my own boss. I want to get paid when I want to get paid. I want to be able to take off when I want to take off. Like, I want to be able to do what I want to be able to do. Is what it kind of boils down to. A lot of people are feeling it, man. You know, if you work, you got a 9 to 5, you got a regular job, a lot of people are feeling it because it's just like the economy is tough. Our bosses are tough. Everybody's like, it just gets worse and worse. So it's not just the negative information on Uber or Lyft, but it's more so about the negative information that we go through every day. And what I can tell you, while my car is charging, as you can see, my car is way over there. What I can tell you as a driver, as an Uber driver, as a Lyft driver, as someone that is already in the field, you shouldn't quit your job for this, because it's going to take a special type of person, and not everybody can do this type of work. So what happens is you come from being stable, you come from having benefits, you come from knowing your off days and when you're working, you come from having a schedule, you know what I'm saying? You come from having a uniform. You just kind of come from a lot of stability, a lot of structure. When you work a job, when you work a regular 9 to 5, when you're an employee, they tell you your schedule. They tell you where to go. They tell you, you know, you obviously know where you're working at because they tell you where you're, you know where you're applying to. So like if you're applying to Walmart, it's not like you got to guess which Walmart you're going to work at. They tell you up front in the interview. You know your schedule. So it's not that you have to kind of figure it out. It's that they already tell you. A lot of things are just given to you because they're hiring you because they know that they have a need as a business. They know that they have a need and they're looking for you to fill it, which makes sense, right? It makes all of the sense in the world. That's the point of them hiring you. They're hiring you because they know that you can fulfill a need that they have in terms of volume, in terms of just things that they have to get out. So with that being said, so it's like, it's kind of one of those things. So you're coming from a situation where everything is told to you, everything is given to you. Literally everything is given to you. To now being an Uber driver, it's a lot of freedom. It's a lot of freedom. Can I just tell you that? It's a lot of freedom. Because you no longer have that structure. You can turn on the app whenever you want to turn on the app. It's nobody telling you when and where to do it. Now, obviously, there are peak times. There's better times to turn on the app. But you can turn on the app whenever you want. You know what I'm saying? I can turn off the app after I do a ride. I can turn on the app, you know, a couple minutes before I get a ride. I can turn on the app in the morning. I can turn on the app in the afternoon. I can turn on the app pretty much anytime that I want. I can turn it on like 3 o'clock in the morning. I can turn it on at 10 o'clock in the evening. There is no set schedule, obviously, is what I'm alluding to. There's no set schedule. You work when you want to work. So there's a lot of freedom. But with that freedom, obviously comes issues. Because you got to be able to structure your day. You know what I'm saying? It's no longer about your boss and stuff telling you when you take a break and when you don't take a break. It's not on you to take that break. It's Now, like, hey, did you take a break today or did you not? You know, nobody cares. So now it's about your structure, you structuring your day. And that can be tough for some people, you know. You come from a stability environment where it's like you legitimately know what days you get paid. But like I always say, out of all of my jobs, I think the most consistent day that I would get paid was, I think it was the 10th and the 25th. It was either the 1st or the 15th or the 10th and the 25th. That was the most consistent time. That was the most consistent time that I would get paid. Those are the dates. That's why I remember it. Now, of course, I got paid different times depending on the job. Like when I worked for Amazon, it was weekly. When I used to do security, it was a little bit different. It kind of depended on the job. But for the most part, it was the 10th and the 25th, the 1st and the 15th. Depending on whichever one that I got. And it was cool because I knew, hey, on the 15th, I'm getting paid this amount. You can kind of structure your life around your paycheck, which is what most people do. You know offhand how much you're going to get paid. Maybe not the first couple months, but I mean, you know, some of y'all have had y'all jobs for like years. So it's like, you know generally how much you're going to get paid. It's not rocket science. You know, you work 40 hours at whatever rate, you know, 15, 18. In my case, it was like 13. $13, $15. You kind of do the math. Okay, I work 40 hours this week. I work 40 hours that week. You know, a pay period is every 2 weeks. So it's like, it's one of those things that you kind of like, you can easily map out. Hey, you know, I work 2 weeks this week. So I already know my paycheck, 80 hours times 14, 80 hours times 15. You know, basically, you know how much you're going to get paid. When you come over to Uber, when you come over to the gig side of things, you don't know. You just don't know. Because it's about, the concept is you eat what you kill. So if you don't kill anything, as you can see, that bee was trying to come from me. So if you don't kill anything, you don't eat. And what I mean by that is your paycheck is dependent on how much you work, not whether or not you turn on the app. So in an employee environment, as an employee, you're paid as soon as you clock in. Doesn't matter what you did that day. Doesn't matter, as long as you're paid from the time that you clock in to the time that you clock out. Now, when you come on the flip side and you start working over here on this side, you're paid for however many people that you take and you drop off. Every time you pick somebody up and you drop them off, that's when you get paid. So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. It's not the same feeling. It doesn't matter how long you keep the app on. You know, there are weeks sometimes where I'll have the app on for 80, 90 hours. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but I'm not working 80, 90 hours all the time. Unless like I have a big goal or something like that. But and this is where we get the active hour versus just the online time. So my app will be online for 80, 90 hours, but I won't necessarily have rides for 80, 90 hours. Because it doesn't matter how long you keep your app on. Doesn't matter. What matters is how many people you pick up, how many people you drop off. Every time you complete a ride is when you get paid. So you complete a $5 ride, you get paid $5. You complete a $20 ride, you get paid $20. And that's the only way that you build up your paycheck. So when you say, like, when you flip it and you say, like, something like, in my situation, my paycheck is every day. So it's no longer where I'm calculating how many hours we're in the pay period, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? When does the pay period fall on? Am I going to get paid on that Friday or that Monday? It's like, no, how many people did I take? What rides did I do? Oh, I got paid $5. I got paid $10. Okay, cool. So I'm looking at maybe $50, $60 right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm more so looking at how many people did I take during that day, as opposed to trying to calculate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm looking at the total. Okay, so I made $200 for today. I made $300 for today. Now I have to look at it from the perspective of, okay, cool. So I made $300 today. But I know if I don't go out there and work tomorrow, okay, cool. I made the money today, but I also got to go out there and hustle again tomorrow. And I got to hustle again tomorrow. I got to hustle again tomorrow, because you just don't have that same flexibility, that same stability of, well, you know, I did 80 hours this week, I'm going to get X. No, I did 15 passengers today. Most likely it'll be $200. It could be, it could not be, you know what I'm saying, depending on the day. Most likely it'll be, especially if I did that many passengers. But you know, it's not as structured. It's not as guaranteed. There's no guaranteed income on this side. Again, you eat what you kill. And the last and most important part is I don't have to worry about the supervision. I don't have nobody over my shoulder, in the sense of, like, my manager isn't like constantly annoying me and over my shoulder, micromanaging me, giving me busy work. The only thing I'm doing, everything that I'm doing is more so is paying my bills. So every passenger I take is money in my pocket. If I don't want to take no passengers, I don't take them. As opposed to when you at work, you're paid hourly. So they'll give you know how it is. They'll give you work. Oh yeah, just go stock the shelves. That ain't in my job description. Oh yeah, well, you know, so and so ain't here. You got to do it. Or like when I was a waiter. Hey, can you help us in the back and wash the dishes? That ain't in my job description. Oh well, yeah, we're kind of short staffed, so we need your help. Or, you know, like when I worked in fast food and I used to have to wear the mascot. Listen, that damn show ain't in my job description. I mean, it kind of was in that situation, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you have more duties assigned to you than what your job's description is, because you're paid hourly and they damn sure gonna get their money out of you. It ain't about your job description. It's about, what does the business need, and you need to do this. So you know how it is. Your manager will come over, hey, look, we need you to move over here. We need you to go over here. What I do, ain't nobody really telling me where to go. Ain't nobody telling me what to do, what passengers to take, what passengers not to take. I pick and choose that. I'm my manager. I'm my boss. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. It's different. You don't have that same structure that you're used to. So it takes a certain type of person to be able to make it. So for most of y'all, man, listen, I'm just going to be straightforward with you. Don't quit your job. Because y'all need that structure. You need somebody to tell you what to do and what not to do. You need somebody to plan out your day. You need somebody to tell you, look, you get paid on the 15th and the 25th. You need somebody to say, hey, this is your schedule. Hey, these are the times that you work. You only can work at this particular time. This is your shift. These are your holidays. Because, you know, if not, then it's going to be a situation where it's like, I don't want to work today. I don't need to work today. So, you know, a lot of y'all need that. But for the select few, if you willing to hustle, if you like, look, I'm trying to pay off something, I'm working towards something, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I got a wedding that I'm trying to pay for. Hey, I want to put down a down payment on a house. I want to put down a down payment on a car. Hey man, look, I'm trying to pay off some debt. You know, for select people, for certain types of people, this is amazing. But for those others, look, I'm not trying to see you in ruin. So, like I said, I kept it 100. I kept it straightforward. It's certain types of people that benefits from driving Uber. And all of the negativity that you see is kind of showing you, you know, it's certain people that see this as an opportunity as opposed to a career. So, but yeah, man, I done kind of rambled. It's getting late now, as you can see. So yeah, with that being said, I'm out of here. Deuces.